looking back, we are still spuds deep in other projects, and I've decided to start another. We've got the VXR over there. That's still waiting on the bits and the engineering place for the block to be bored out. They were just going to check and polish my crank and the cylinder head for the skim and everything else. So in the meantime, that's been taking a while. So I've done a bit of retail therapy just to put a smile back on my face, and I've bought myself these. This is a Buggy that does have a bike engine in it. It was a standard 150cc or something. I think they said it were an R6, but a Yamaha R6 is liquid cooled and this thing ain't, so it's not an R6 engine. It's probably a 400 or a 500. I bought that off one of the lads at work. It runs, it drives fine, it's got MOT. He was just buying a new bike and wanted rig. I said, I'll buy it, I'll do something with it. So I bought that, and then I bought this, and here we are. I'm £750 deep in a Buggy and a bike. I will give you a bit of a walk around, but for starters, let's see what your maths tell you. So you've got a strap there. That's never a good sign, that's been torn by something. The next thing I found is the throttle cable snapped, because I were thinking, do I just try and see if this thing runs and drives first? And I know that's what you're all thinking and wanting me to do, but the more and more you go, we're probably going to need a brake line there. That's not been put on the best. Whoever's built it's built it. That's where the battery was. We don't have a battery. The steering is a bit stiff. The throttle pedal is a bit stiff. I mean, that's not even connected. I mean, we've got an absolutely top of the range exhaust manifold. He's had the best of the best build, that. Like here, they've welded there, but you know, not just same there. This back axle is knackered, it does move. I know my arm's moving because I'm swinging the Buggy there. The cogs, that one seized upwards, that when me who pressed it, it did move, but it won't come down. This one does do as it should. Them two seized. They've had this is how I bought it, by the way, and that was off. So that engine has basically been a rain collector. Trying to think, there's all sorts of others. I mean, got a back disc. You don't need a back caliper though, do you? My idea with a back brake is put another lever at the left side of an hydraulic handbrake. Trying to think what else. The electrics are all in a toolbox here. I'm guessing the wheels kept coming loose or something, because why would you have that in it? That's where the ignition barrel is. So it looks very simple and basic, and it will have been that conversion on that engine. There's not much to it, whereas I'm going to have a radiator and that, so I'm going to probably have to mount a radiator. Let's zoom out. In this piece here. I don't want it too close to the seat, because if something hits it and pierces it, you're getting doused in red hot coolant. It's got a nice chain on it. It has got a tensioner there, so I'm guessing they have had issues with the chain. And that weren't the issue. The issue will have been the fact that this back axle is moving left to right. So I'll probably have to re-bearing that, put some better bearings on the axle to hold it in place. I am going to lengthen it a bit, if you could see. That were my feet on the pedals. I fit in there, not very comfortable. So yeah, I'm going to extend it. And then this is a bike. Still has about 11-month MOT, even though number plate's cracked. Yeah, it's done somebody for his first bike. With the exhaust, I'm not sure what I'm going to do, because there is one there. I was thinking with mine of having 2 pipes one side and 2 pipes out the other side in a twin exhaust, but we'll see. Now it's really time. First things first is going to be just pull that out. That's no good. There's no way you're going to be wasting a lot of time and money just trying to get that engine to run. Let's pull it out, start afresh. just gonna start stripping this down. If you thought I were gonna use anything other than a battery grinder, you were wrong. And let's just... That's that wiring off. That's the gear cable. We don't need that. There'll be a throttle cable somewhere, probably on these. There. Nearly disconnected there now. That throttle cable what's pulling through, then wires don't run to the front, gear cable's disconnected, there's just a chain and a couple of bolts holding that engine in. This is why we didn't try starting it. That's just come out them carburetors. It were just 6 bolts and a grinder job. I even cut the exhaust because I'm going to keep hold of the end can just in case, but some manifold that, boys. I cut the piece of frame out of here just to get it out. It were leaking water into my shoe then. Now it's time to strip the bike and put that running gear into there. There. I don't think that we're going to run. That is the engine out. So a lot of work I am going to be doing now is on this rear end. I need to strip the bike next. The only other thing I can really do to this now is take that seat out. I'll get the engine in, get it running and driving. Then start the overhaul. I need to get some better seats in that. Probably put a bar up here for the harnesses, well round here for the harnesses to go around. Make it a bit more sturdier, panel it out a bit, make it look a lot different. We call them those, same as them on roof. And this is the last time that engine is going to live as a motorbike, because it's now time. Oh, I actually pulled that off actually. Now time to start taking this motorbike apart. I've just been looking how the lights work. So your other one only comes on with main beam, but I'll just run the headlight live to the other side of something. So I need to can't really cut everything on this one. Need to undo it and actually take note how stuff goes. Oh my days, it's got an ABS pump. That's a good start, isn't it? Well, that ain't getting swapped over, I can tell you now. But yeah, Let's pull this motorbike to pieces. Such a shame, it's got MOT and everything. It is a nippy little thing. There'll be someone saying that would have done me, and it would.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby I have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you
Once you have stripped it down, it does look quite, I mean, there's just the tank off, that's upside down because it's got fuel in it, the plastics. I've started taping the wiring up as I'm doing it as well. I have, when I've done the tank, there were 2 pipes to the right side, 2 to the left, a big and a small, so I don't get them confused, I've labelled them right and left side. That looks like the coil pipe, so unbolt them, take the radiator off. The front mounts are just these here. I might even cut them brackets off the frame. Depends if they're alloy steel. So that has been a productive few hours, and that's the motorbike. I have stripped all the wiring to the middle of the bike, basically. If I pull that light off and that there, you can see that is all. I've found some plugs down, where were they? There. I think I disconnect them to undo the engine. I'm going to take this pipe off here, have a look if that air box comes off, or if I don't know if I drop that with the engine. Another day, another $1. Back to it. Just get the engine out. I'm going to take the radiator off, take the exhaust off. That airbox does not look fun to come off, but it must do somehow, surely. And then, yeah, drop the engine out of this. Start the upgrade.
never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away, as you fade away. told your friend you're not okay? And tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray.
To be the judge, darling. You never change, just wait for me to budge, darling. It's feeling like a cold dark wind and the sun still behind the trees, yeah. She asked me if I had another minute and I ain't had the heart to leave, yeah. It's feeling like a cold dark wind and the sun still behind the trees, yeah. She asked me if I had another minute and I ain't had the heart to leave. One day I'll be everything you ever wanted. Until then I'll be out here fighting like it's nothing. Through the cold dark winter. Or did you say goodbye, knowing damn well everybody gon' die someday? Did you waste my time, knowing damn well we can press for a while? One day I'll be everything you ever wanted. Until then I'll be out here fighting like it's nothing. Through the cold dark winter. It's feeling like a cold dark winter and the sun still behind the trees, yeah. She asked me if I had another minute and I ain't had the heart to leave, yeah. It's feeling like a cold dark winter and the sun still behind the trees, yeah. She asked me if I had another minute and I ain't had the heart to leave. One day I'll be everything you ever wanted. Until then I'll be out here fighting like it's nothing. Through the cold dark winter. It's feeling like a cold dark winter. It's feeling like.
So that is pretty much what I'll be taking off the bike. The ignition barrel will be coming off as well. I do need that obviously to start it, but maybe some of the brakes. I'm going to just keep that there because you never know, I might end up using the back sprocket. I were in talks with my mate then, do we use one of them brake calipers for the back brake, maybe try and fit one of them discs so it's got a bigger disc to clamp on as well. But yeah, now it is. I'm not going to lie, I've just stood there for 2 minutes and you have that itch in your head moment, like, I mean, I'm middle of rebuilding engine on that on. I'm waiting for stuff from engineers still, which is why I thought I'd buy this, because I was waiting on my mate to make the wooden panels for the false floor, which he's been on with tonight, whilst I've been making a crossbar for that cage, and I'm going to put straight pieces for the harnesses to go over so it's not like that, because that is not how your harnesses should be. Wrong angle. He's going to make another panel for at the bottom. You're not going to see how the harnesses fit. They're just going to go down the back of the other panel with a bit of a recess for them. So yeah, it's going to look nice, look a lot different to what it did. I've got the top piece for there. I just need to cut the piece that goes there and there, but I have got the other top diagonal cut. I will take the cage out. This, why am I talking? There's a lot more going on, some seats going in this and all sorts. So if you want to see some on this car, that'll be on another video. But this is about the buggy and the bike. But yeah, I've just been studying. Obviously all this has been fit by someone else. I mean, the welds, I'm amazed the thing's held up. I don't know what they've been doing there, but there's only one bit here holding it on the right. Yeah, the mind boggles. That's an engine mount. So yeah, and someone's probably missing a scissor jack because it's part at gear shift. But yeah, we need to go over all this. Main thing is start cutting what I need to. I might try and sit the engine a bit higher, then I can keep this, because they made a right mess of that exhaust on their conversion. So if I can sit the engine a bit more back, so instead of having it right up against the bulkhead, have it a little bit back, up a bit, that might give me a bit more room to then run the exhaust, and then I'll just weld a pipe up so it comes up out the middle. Or I were debating the two pipes, But according to ChatGPT, it'll lose power if I do that. If I have 2 exhaust, or 1 and 2 coming this side, 3 and 4 coming this side. And I do think it is time. Everywhere I look, I just see more stuff. So anyway, I'm not going to cut it all out because I don't want to twist the back of the swinging arm now. I want to keep it somewhat straight, but I'm going to cut them 2 brackets off, cut this piece out of here because that's totally different to how my engine mounts.
She asked me if I had another minute and I didn't have the heart to leave. One day I'll be everything you ever wanted. Until then I'll be out here fighting like it's nothing. Through the cold dark winter, it's feeling like a cold dark winter. It's feeling like a cold dark winter. It's feeling like a cold dark winter and the sun still behind the trees, yeah. She asked me if I had another minute and I didn't have the heart to leave, yeah. It's feeling like a cold dark winter and the sun still behind the trees, yeah. She asked me if I had another minute and I didn't have the heart to leave. It's feeling like a cold dark winter and the sun still behind the trees, yeah. She asked me if I had another minute and I didn't have the heart to leave, yeah. It's feeling like a cold dark winter and the sun still behind the trees, yeah. She asked me if I had another minute and I didn't have the heart to leave.
So we have now chopped most of that frame out. Do need to chop a few more bits out, but I'm just going to push it forward, lift it up with 2 ramp legs on the roof, so I can get to that a bit easier, and then it's going to be a case of getting the engine mocked up into there. Let's see how it sits. There probably should be a whole lot of measuring and everything, but rack of high spirit levels, I might do the odd measure, but I ain't no engineer. We just give it a go. Looking a lot better. There's them 2 bits down there and I could do with just doing them, but I'm itching to see how the engine fits in there, so let's see how it goes. So being on my own, I've just tied a bit of a strap round the exhaust manifold and the sprocket. I'm just going to use a forklift to lift that into here for me, so because I need to come in this way to drop the engine in. Drop it on the jack, which I can then move the engine in and out, up and down on, to line it up with. They did use a small sprocket. I think they have welded a bike sprocket on, so I need to use a small sprocket. That one runs true and straight. This sprocket here, instead of being straight, is like that. So as it's turning, it'll be doing all this. I think that's why there's some sideways play in the axle. But I'll use that small sprocket. It's probably lower gear. I don't know if that'll affect top end motor acceleration. ChatGPT will tell me, or someone in the comments probably. So yeah, lift that up, drop it in there, and let's see how it fits. I've built this so far without wearing goggles. That doesn't mean you can do it. I do the old squint eye, but I've also been hospital plenty of times getting stuff took out my eyes. And a lot of the times I wear goggles, but here it's a lot of cut, grind, measure, see. So anyway, we're getting towards it. I'm about to put the engine in now. Well, the engine's in its place. So we are now sat somewhere near already. This bolt's just for safety. If it falls off the jack, that strap is, stood on extension, is just going to stop that engine from falling on its side or something and cracking one at casings. It'd be just my luck. My closest issue I'm having is I'm having to come right over and up very close to this frame to line up my sprocket with that sprocket. So I'm going to make a mount and put that side where I want, so I've got the clearance, take my measurements so it's going to be level, and then take my measurements of my back mounts so the engine's going to sit level, because there I marked this Honda thing and that is bang on level, the Honda. The tape isn't, but the actual Honda logo is perfectly symmetrical, just like it was. I'm having to sit it a bit higher to use the original exhaust manifold. I don't fancy making a mess of it like they did. I were thinking of chopping up the manifold and making my own, but I don't think that's coming apart. So I'm going to use the existing manifold and just have the exhaust coming up there like that. I have been using spirit level. I'm going to get tape measure and start taking some measurements before I do start tacking the mounts in. But once that is mounted to the frame, I've cut this off the bike, so it's just a case of that. Obviously that's just a bolt, let's push it through. There you go. And then I'll sit this mount onto there. And I mean, I am not too far out there. Cut that bit at the bottom so it's straight, trim that down a bit, and that'll look a good mount, that. So we've got the first engine mount ready. I am going to put strengthening supports to it and trim that down, but I've got adequate clearance on the left hand side of the engine now. So's the front of the engine, because obviously the swing arm's going to move up and down. That in turn is going to affect the clearance at the front of the engine. We are also lined up with a chain. So that is it in the middle there. That's all the way to the right, all the way to the left. We're in the middle. Exhaust, I've got clearance. Everything's got good clearance. I'll even be able to put this piece back in. So we're now on the left side of the engine. I've checked all my measurements that it's straight and everything again. And this time I've flipped the bracket. Well, that's the way the bracket actually comes off the bike, and it bends away, leaving me plenty of room here to mount the battery. And obviously I'm just getting them where they need to be, then I can support the actual brackets afterwards. I just need to know where the engine's going to sit. And for the back, I'm just thinking a piece of that coming up with the brackets. Well, yeah, the tabs where them bolts go, tight down. And then at this side, I'm thinking of this here. And where the bolts go, I'll just weld the brackets that I've cut off the bike. Bolts, and then weld them to this bar and put the bolts through. And then at this side, when I go down with the bar, I'm going to multitask with it. I'm going to use it so I can mount the exhaust and the two mounts, but then I'm going to have to put a brace over across and down to this, because you can't just have it floating. Like, I can't just come have one bit welded to this swinging arm here. It is an engine mount, so it needs to have a support. Let's get the front mounts on first. Once this is on, I'm going to say halfway there for mounting the engine. So we have just had a big blitz. I've put this support on the back because the axle weren't in the best, well, the back support there is not in the best of nick. That is actually out the roll cage for my 106. That's the tubing I'm using for that, so it's more than strong enough for this. Braced it in the middle and it's welded to either end. I need to finish the welds. A lot of this is just tacked here and there. We've got this piece here which is going to spread the load along this bottom bit here. Got this up right here. So the boxing was what I started with, just for them mounts at the bottom, and then I thought, you know what, this tubing's a lot stronger. Let's start putting some of that in place. Some of that's still warm from being welded. So I'm now going to join the top of them two and then run one from here to the top of there as another support, and then I just need one from here down to there, and that should brace the engine. Then it's take it all out, give it a clean up properly, finish the welds, give it all a lick of paint and put it back in. So a good few hours and I've knocked quite a bit of framework up there. I've had to put the airbox on to check the clearance for them, and I were bang on. Look at that. We've got this big bumper bar reinforcer because I weren't happy with this. Little bits needed welding along it, which I'm going to do anyway. This is a lot thicker stuff. I've got a support from this running to the top where the top bolts go for the top engine mount. And then I've also got the bottom one supported by this box bridge, which is also welded up around here, and then that's supported to that, that is supported to that. I need a support from the end of that down there. That finishes that. Bit of fettling getting the airbox and the carbs back on because they all come loose, and giving them a quick clean out. I've secured the ECU just to the side of the airbox. Started to route the wiring down here to the inside of the buggy. I do need to make a bracket for the coil packs. The cables are all there, the throttle cable, clutch cable. And then coming round, I'm going to have to make one of these for the other side. It looks good as well, like a bit like a mud flat. So you've got, I think, your lights control module and a relay. Loads of stuff that comes off the live terminal of the battery, which will just go on there. Your earth terminals here, that will just go on there. Fuses, everything, all your electrics from this side will be secured to there. Everything from that side mainly runs inside the vehicle to start it and that. But yeah, that is some good progress. Really now, even though it beats the object of securing all that, I need to whip the trailing arm off with the engine, take the engine out so I can weld everything properly, clean it up, paint it, because most of that's done now. Just a few supports for the front mounts and a support there, which will probably be easier to do when it's all out. Everything's got enough tacks and welds that it's not moving. But that has been a good day's progress. And that's going to be it for this episode basically after today. What's your favourite colour? get the engine out the bike, into the buggy. Now my mate's no longer with us, I want to keep as much off the bike and put it on the buggy. Definitely going to be double digits. So I'm going to do them one at a time now, and I need to run them wires up there, come out here and plug. How long did you last? 5 minutes? 5 minutes and he's give up, hasn't he? We had one on this, starting it to rev it, one turning key on and pulling chalk, and another one holding jumper back on and holding live on. And it weren't starting. It does all work. The rev gauge works, the neutral light works, everything. 2 headlights. That is coming to knowing it now runs as well. And proves that it does run.
Final dive, I'll let it on.
He's running.
He's running.